guys, this is Attorney Walter Knott with Disability Resolution PA. I wanted to go through something real quick. I think it would be good if we had politicians or a politician that was promoting the idea of the following 10 things. And these are important because I feel like these would fix major issues that we have going on in the United States. And let me go through them real quick. And then be brutally honest with me. When you know, in the comments, I know some of you guys have no problem with that. You get aggressive and hyper and but just be honest with me about what you think about these things. Number one, to always, no matter what, have a room to live in that we could offer somebody in the state where you were born. It might be the biggest apartment building ever created per state, but a room, a bed, a shower, you can accomplish anything with those, and a meal. You know, that's kind of a classic phrase you would grow up and hear about. So basically, if you want to do nothing with your life, right? Cool, you would have a room. You would still have some sort of room. It wouldn't be a big room. It'd be a small room, but you'd still have that room. If you wanted to do something with your life, cool, you would still have a room. You would have a platform to fall back on in case something bad happened. And I want to point out here, people can escape hostile environments. People can escape abusive homes. People can escape basically, horrible situations where they're getting put into these, repetitive beatings and, all these things. The thing I want you to focus on here is this represents an option for people to get away from horribly negative options that are happening in their life. Well, they're not options, but things that are happening in their life. And think about that kid that was abused over and over and over again. Think about a wife that's getting beaten over and over and over again. They would have that option to go to that room because we would have a large enough limited accommodation per state for somebody to be able to move to that room. They would be able to have that room. So it's just a thought. It's not something that I'm going into full detail with, but just consider it. What if we had one of those? What would happen? Number two, to have free trade school or college. You want to learn a trade? We need to support that. People are limited by their intellectual capacity for higher level learning, such as master's degrees, doctorate degrees, postdoctorate degrees, etc. Not everyone can be a doctor or a lawyer, but a welder or administration manager, many can, although welding is very difficult, as well as administration manager. I should have picked lower options for that, but you get the bottom line. And we want them unburdened with debt. Here's the idea. We do not want people heavily burdened with debt. My generation, horrifically burdened with debt, more so than any other generation because of the abuse that was going on that the Supreme Court had to stop. A lot of race-based abuse against people that are my gender and my skin color, which is sad, which we do not want. The Constitution is not for that. Constitution is completely against that. But the whole idea here is that, when it comes to doing things, we want people to be able to have at least a college level of education or trade level, of education where they have the capacity to go do a job and earn money. And the colleges have to be held to a certain standard where they're teaching people things that give them the actual skills to go and make money. Not what we had before, which is you get this degree and then what are you going to do with it? Well, I got to pay a bill. Well, how am I going to pay a bill? Exactly. So, 3, free entrance to any national park for any American, period. Okay, this is your land, no one else's. They recently started under the Biden administration doing this whole, well, you got to do a reservation to go to this, for 6 parks, you need to go to the nice thing here and the nice thing there. No. When it comes to an American, you have free entry to any national park, period. It is your land. It is not the federal government's land. The federal government holds that land in trust for you. It is your land. 4, forced medical research transparency. You know why we don't have cures? Because we don't know what their research test results are, right? Because we can't see them because it's all privatized, right? It's closed doors, you're not allowed to see, etc. Imagine them knowing the cure for cancer, right? Just imagine. And purposely allowing people to die from cancer for profit, because that's what's happening, right? If they had a cure for cancer and they allowed people to constantly be treated with other medications that aren't curing them, then that is a form of literally criminal death, right? This criminal killing of somebody else. That is it's not, maybe it would be intentional. Maybe it would be maybe it would be, well, it wouldn't be that. Maybe it would be one of those things, which I'm trying to think of the phrase, but it might be unintentional. It might be, depraved heart. It might be any one of these potential criminal options for death, a killing that occurred. Did it have intent? Did it not have intent? What was the level? Was it negligent? Was it reckless? Was it first degree, second degree, etc.? So the point that I'm getting at here is this. I guess what I want you to understand, and this is what's bugging me about this, is that we need to be more aggressive with Big Pharma as a country to go ahead and get them to comply with giving us the cures as people that we need. Because think about that. We allowed them to make lots and lots of money off of the cure, well, no, sorry, not cure, off of the potential of keeping people alive for a longer period based on their drugs. But they're not usually offering a cure, even though we have the entire DNA sequence of a human body completely mapped out at this point. There is no reason at this point why they can't figure out a cure for these different things. There's not. They technologically have it. They have CRISPR. They have the way to genetically alter things and go in and just do the slightest little variations and changes. And they have all of that. So what we're running into is, and it's not a big deal right now, but it will be over the next 5 years, we as American people are not in the business of death. We are in the business of exploration. And the problem with all this stuff is that if we don't give the human race the cures to these impairments, then we're literally losing people who have the capacity to continue potentially working longer and doing even greater things with the knowledge base that they have. We're allowing them to die sooner because it makes money to do that for some people. That's sad. Number 5, I would heavily fund fusion and get Americans to thermos bottle fusion so that every car and every home will have unlimited power. And here's why. This whole solar panel thing is a joke. It's a joke. It's tiny little bits of energy from the sun. Cut out the middle crap, go right to what the sun is. The sun is fusion-based technology. We now have fusion-based technology, and by and through that, we need to fund figuring out how to create fusion in a thermos bottle size. Why? Because taking sun's heat and light and converting it into electricity is just hyper inefficient. Why don't we just create little mini suns in thermos bottle size to go ahead and fuel our homes, our cities, our cars, our future spaceships, etc. So this whole lithium ion battery thing, that's a joke. All of that is useless technology once they come out with what's called fusion. Thermos bottle fusion, there is no point to have a battery storing electricity because it will always be providing electricity non-stop. As much as you need, you plug in, it gives you. There's no point at all to have to back up battery power. Okay, number 6. I would put maximum food prices on base ingredient foods. They wouldn't be able to raise milk or fruit like they are right now, so that food stamps are pretty much becoming ineffective. We want people eating. Okay, so one of the big things that I think a lot of people are not realizing is that with these crazy COLA adjustments, the big thing that's going to hurt you is your rent and the food. And you're going to have to consistently buy lesser quality food. It has become a stance where basically most foods that are nicer organic things, a lot of people can't afford those unless they're making $60,000, $70,000 a year. And even then, that has to be like their hobby. That's the thing that they spend money on. 7, I would finalize a long-term agreement for free national internet. Wouldn't be fast at first, but we can build in speed requirements as things develop technologically. I mean, look what Elon's doing. But the point is, internet is becoming, and realistically it is, and let's just say what it is. Everybody's using the internet now, for the most part. There's some islands out there where they don't, but the bottom line is everybody's using the internet. It's become a utility. It's how we access things. There are things with the government that you can't even sign up for in the United States if you don't have internet. You know why? Because in order for you to sign up for it, you have to fill in an online form or you have to fill in a paper form. And how do you get the paper form? You have to go onto their website, or you have to go onto their website to basically to download it, or you have to go onto their website to call the phone number there to have them send it to you if they will send it to you. Many times they won't. They expect you to download it and print it. So printers, computers, internet, these are all utilities. Why are they still so expensive? Well, you know why. You know why. Okay, 8, I would raise SSA benefits, allow more cores to be earned in a year, and increase SSDI 20 cores in the past 10 to 20 cores in the past 15 to allow more people to access SSDI benefits over SSI. We need to support those who have met misfortune. We need to support those who have achieved their retirement age. We should be trying to push people onto a better program with Medicare and not sticking them and getting them stuck in the mud when it comes to SSI and being on Medicaid. 9, I would be fine to have a basic free medical treatment for all, a 2-tier system of daily medical issues covered for free, and a larger medical issues covered by insurance. Think about that. All the little stuff. Your daily checkup, your yearly checkup, your monthly checkup, your whatever. All the little stuff. Okay? You cut your arm, you've got a cold, all your little stuff. 2-tier system. Free basic medical treatment. Higher stuff goes onto an insurance platform. Okay, there's a lot of financial benefits to that idea. We'll go into that more later if you ever want to. I mean, if you even like this video. But the bottom line is, imagine someone like me who owns a law firm. I don't go into to get medical treatment for a lot of the little things because of the extremes of my student loans, the extremes of the cost of running a law firm, the extremes of health insurance. Way too expensive. It's just far too expensive, okay? 10, I would make a national language learning course free for 50 languages and a financial benefit for each level of language completed successfully. Think about this. Imagine we have a website you could go to learn a language. You learn a language, you complete a course, you get a small payment. That a boy. It increases every time you complete a course, right? This to me is the greatest way to achieve universal. I just have to click out of this thing. This to me, the greatest way to achieve universal understanding between countries and a truly diverse and idea prolific society. You pay Americans to learn other languages, and imagine the scope of allies that can speak each other's languages that will occur from that. You know, and that's part of the problem here is that there are a lot of different languages. And the original idea of America was to force everybody to go ahead and learn one language, right? And that worked for a while until we converted into this whole where lots of people speak different languages. How do we cater to everybody? Well, as a government, you don't cater to everybody because you can't. There's just no possible way to do that. So what you should do is create a system that basically benefits people to go ahead and learn other languages so that in their geographic area, those individuals can learn English, those individuals can learn Spanish, German, Japanese, Chinese, whatever. They can learn these languages and actually get some sort of financial benefit. It could be a tax cut that you get, whatever. It doesn't matter. But the point is, it would essentially allow people to become more, in my opinion, awakened to the universal options out there that other countries, other places, and other people have. And that's something that we sorely need. So that's incredibly important, guys. I'm Attorney Walter Knott. I will catch you a little bit later. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember, 8 to 10 every Thursday, I go live, 8 to 10 p.m. And remember, that's Eastern Standard Time. So if you have any questions, that's when I donate 2 hours. Catch up with me then, 8 to 10 p.m. every Thursday. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.